going, guys? We got an interesting one today. My buddy just picked up a YZ450. He said he got a little in over his head with it and he wanted me to work on it for him. So we're gonna start tearing into this thing. Here's the bike. It's a 2004 YZ450f. It's pretty nice condition. You can see it has a little bit of fade, sun. This is actually one of my friend's bike. It's not mine, unfortunately. The guy he bought it from said that it was locked up. He said it had a new bottom end and a new top end, but when he got it back from the shop, he tried to kick it over and the Kickstarter wasn't working. So unfortunately, I lost the footage of when I first got this bike. I don't know how I lost it. When I first received the bike, my friend took this clutch cover off just because the Kickstarter wasn't engaging. He didn't actually take the clutch out or anything. When I took the clutch out, I realized that the basket bolt was hand tight. So I took that off and the basket wasn't even lined up on the gears. So that's why the Kickstarter wasn't turning over the crank. So I got all that put back together now. It is super hot in here, like, as you can tell. But the first thing I'm going to check is spark and compression, and then, if it has... So it only has 30 psi, but like it's super hard to kick over. Like I can stand on it and it won't kick over. So something's obviously bonding. I'm gonna have to pull this valve cover to check, see why the compression's low, see if the valves might be tight. But for this to be locking up sometimes, I'm very concerned that the rod bearing might be gone and it's like, locking up every certain revolution. It's very concerning because it'll do it with the plug out, like it'll just stop. It also doesn't have spark, which is also very concerning. This is starting to look like a nightmare bike. I'm gonna be honest. It's supposed to have a full rebuild, bottom, top, which the top end does look new. You can see it's like a different color. It's got a full titanium exhaust, you can see. But so far, it looks like the bottom end might be cooked. The valves might be out of adjustment, and it doesn't have spark, which is not good. I can honestly tell this is probably going to turn into a nightmare. It doesn't have spark, which is very, very annoying. I hate messing with electrical issues, especially on kickstart bikes. But I'm going to go through now and check all the electrical connections, make sure everything's plugged in. And then from there, I'll open this valve cover and check all the valve clearances and make sure everything's within spec. Alright, so I went everything and tried it with everything plugged in and it still didn't have spark, so now I'm testing. But as you can see, I'm just following the manual. And from what I found, the stator down here, charging resistance, which is between the brown wire and the green wire, which is the two middle ones. It's supposed to be in between 700 and 1,000. As you can see, it's 860, so it's right in between the range. I also checked this kill switch here. It's supposed to have continuity whenever this is pressed. See it up here, whenever it's pressed. Whenever it's off, it's supposed to have none. And it doesn't have any when it's off, and it doesn't work when it's pressed either, so that doesn't work. So with the kickstart bike, you really need to be concerned about that, because if you start it and you need to shut it down fast, like say you didn't put coolant in it or whatever, you really can't kill it. The only way you can kill it is by yanking the spark plug boot off, or unplugging it. But I've been in that situation before where I've started it and I couldn't kill it. Like I had to reach down there and I had the gas tank on and everything, so I had to reach down there on that bike. It was in the middle, and I had to reach in here and pull the spark plug boot off to kill it. It was definitely a panic moment. But after checking everything, this guy here is supposed to be between 200 and 400 between here and here, so that's not working. These two in between the top, positive negative in the top where the plug is, it's supposed to be in between 0.08 and 0.010, and as you can see it's 0.02. So this here is not working. It's not in between spec. It needs to be replaced. And I think I'm just gonna try and get the spark back, replacing those two parts, and then try to get it running, see if it's smoking or knocking or anything like that. But I don't think I'm gonna tear it down yet until I can see if it'll run with spark. So it's supposed to be a new top and bottom end, so maybe it just had a little bit of surface rust that was kind of holding it back. But we'll know more whenever we get spark. I'll cut back whenever we get parts. Alright, so as you can see, we had spark. So now I'm gonna put the gas tank on, put the seat on, put some gas in it, and make sure it's got oil. See if she'll fire up. As you can see, it didn't fire. It didn't do anything actually. Pretty sure it's because it has fairly low compression. I thought it might have enough to at least, hit and fire. But as you can, on the compression reading was definitely a little low. So next, I'm gonna pull off this cam cover. Pull that little guy off, valve cover, cam cover, whatever you want to call it. And then I'm gonna check the shims. Whenever they put it back together, maybe they swapped the shims somehow, got them mixed up. So maybe it's hard to kick over because the exhaust valves have the intake and they're a little bit too big. So they don't have enough gap to hit the decompression. And maybe they put the exhaust in the intake so it's losing compression because there's not enough gap. So that's what I'm hoping. I'll check the gaps, and if the gaps are good, I'm gonna have to tear it all the way down. If the gaps are off, that might be the issue. I'm gonna take this cover off. It's just this breather hose here, small breather hose here, the spark plug boot, and then these two 5mm Allens. Let me just pull this cover off. This cover should come right out. Should. Alright, screw it. I'm just going to take this bracket off. Just a 6mm Allen. Alright, now I got it out of here. Just gonna pop this gasket out of here. Okay, so far just looking at it, everything seems good. Chain's nice and tight. Cams look good. Nothing's loose. I'm gonna put it on top dead center real quick. You can see the dots here. Here's one dot there. There's another one there, another one there. This is the decomp mechanism. I do want to make sure that this is working. Okay, so first issue I'm noticing is I think the timing might be off because these lobes, as you can see how they're not in the same position. They should both be like facing that way and facing that way. That's usually how they are. But as you can see, they're a little bit off, and then if you look here, This is the timing mark, the little dot, and the other one's right here. That should be even with the head. So on top dead center, that should be here and here. And then on intake, you can see this one and this one. See how they're lined up? So I think I'm gonna have to time this thing up. I'm gonna go ahead and pop these covers off here. These are the access covers. This goes to the crank so you can turn it over. This goes to the access cover to see the timing mark where it's on top dead center. There we go. And don't forget your little O-ring in there. That'll probably stay in there, so I'm gonna leave it. Now you can see the bolt that you can actually turn. That's the 17 millimeter. And that's how we're gonna be turning the crank. And then if you look in here, yeah, so I think that valve might be making contact because that's the top dead center mark right there. That intake cam is all the way off. I might need to do another rotation real quick, so I'm gonna go ahead and try that. I don't know if they did this right. I'm gonna have to do some research real fast. Marks are lined up, the two dots. One facing up, one facing over, one facing up, one facing over. I don't know if that's actually how this one's supposed to be done, but it does look timed up. So I got the bike over here in the light so we can actually see a little bit better. This is on top dead center. You can see how they're actually mirrored. That's the way they should be. Cams, you can see the timing mark there, and there, there, and there. So those should be even with the head, those should be pointing up. It gets locked up, but at the same time, this is with the plug-in right now. See the plug in there? And I can actually turn it over by hand. Then when it gets locked up, it's super hard to push. Got the plug out now. See, it's not in there. Same thing. Kicks over just as easy. And then it just locks up. Like I can barely turn it by hand to get it to go. So I'm gonna put the compression tester in there and check that real quick. £45, a little under 50 pounds. Alright, so I think I have this figured out. So as you can see, they were like this way and this way. I'm pretty sure they're supposed to be like this. The mark up like always, but this is supposed to be this way. And the reason I say that is because right now with it like this, you know, lines on the inside and top. Right now it's on top dead center, right? The intake's here. So now as you turn it, the piston's moving down, 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 and as soon as it comes in contact with this valve, the piston's actually at bottom dead center. So as I keep going, as soon as it starts opening this valve, the piston's coming up right now. It's coming up, it's coming up, it's coming up, and as soon as the pressure is off this valve, right before it releases the valve is where it locks up. Right there. I can't turn it anymore. Like I'm trying, it won't turn. And right now the piston's on top dead center and that valve is open. You can see it's pushed down. And once I pop it loose, now when the piston's moving down, the valve's releasing. And now the piston's on its way back down. So if it's the way I think it should be, which this is the way I think it should be, the up and to the right. Now, if you do the same thing, if the piston was at top dead center, as soon as you start turning it, it moves down, it goes down, it'd be at bottom dead center, and then it'd start coming back up, coming up, and then once it gets to the top, this starts opening, which would, as it's moving back down, the intake valve would open, let air in, and then as it reaches bottom dead center here, it would be closing. And then the piston would come up, fire, and etc. So I'm pretty sure that's the way it's supposed to be. So I'm pretty sure the main problem with this bike was, excuse me bird, The main problem with this bike, the main problem with this bike was they timed it wrong. Instead of going up and to the right, they went up and to the left and up to the right on this one. So I'm hoping it doesn't have a bent valve, because it's what it looked like it was hitting, and that's why it was locking up. It does still hold compression. It doesn't have zero compression. So I'm hoping the valves are fine. I'm just gonna pop this right here loose, loosen the tension, and time this up. I'm gonna see if it runs. The first thing you wanna do is put the crank back at top dead center, and you can see they're back, left and right, and then top, bottom. So now I'm going to pull this tensioner off. I got the bolt out. Now the best way I found to do this is using one of these little screwdrivers. They fit in there perfectly. Then you can just turn it all the way till it stops. So I might have to take this exhaust cam off, these 4 bolts, just to be able to turn that cam to get enough slack. Might as well check for damage. Looks good, honestly. A little bit of scoring there, but nothing at all to be worried about. There is a little bearing in there. Make sure you don't lose or drop into the bottom. Okay, so I got the other one over there, and there. I just used the crank to turn it over. Now I just got to get this other one back in. Alright, so now we got it lined up. To the top, to the side, to the top, to the side. And the crank's on top dead center. So let's see if it is hard to kick over now. The plug is still out. Oh, I forgot to release the freaking tension. See, that's at the top, that's at the side, that's at the top, that's at the side. And now everything turns over super smoothly. So before it would hang up right about now. And now it just turns over super smooth. Plug's out. So I'll get the plug and put everything back together, the cap, get the plug and everything plugged in, and then I'm going to try and see if I can get this thing running. Okay, so I've come to the conclusion that because it was timed up wrong, it bent one of the intake valves, because there's 3 intake valves. One of them in the middle sticks down a little bit lower than the rest. So I'm guessing because they had it timed wrong, it was going up and hitting that valve. That's why I was locking up. And then now it's bent, so it's losing compression and it won't start. So what I'm going to have to do is take this head off from here up. We're going to get to in the next video. We're going to start tearing the motor down and seeing what is causing the low compression issue. Subscribe if you haven't already. Like this video if you want to see more content like this, and I'll see you in the next video.